In the headlines, contrasting views on whether parents should be blamed for their children's inability to read. Close to 140,000 people enrolled for courses through the National Training Initiative. An initiative by the Barbados Fire Service deemed an impactful youth development program. And in sports, the Windies set a record of futility as they're dismissed for their lowest ever test score in defeat to the Aussies.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tisha Hines with the details to the news. Minister of Educational Transformation Chad Blackman is not supporting the idea that parents are to be blamed for their children's inability to read. In fact, Minister Blackman says while some parents try their best to teach their children how to read, oftentimes they lack the resources or training to make it possible. He was delivering remarks at the opening of the Babs Reading Clinic Summer 2025 program at the Barbados Community College. There, he said, government continues to work with parents, private sector, and non-governmental organizations to strengthen the education system.
Our society is made up of different opportunities, but equally they're made up of different challenges. And those challenges require all of us as an ecosystem to hold our part as government, parents, schools, teachers, aunties, uncles, financial support, private sector, to ensure that we can make sure that every single child that is born in this country or that moves to this country and passes through our education system has the tools necessary for support. And that is why these interventions are so key. So I don't support the idea that it is for the parents to blame. That's all.
However, founder of Babs Reading Clinic, Dr. Ashra Bab, believes parents are 100% responsible for their children and must ensure they know the basics of reading by a certain age.
If your child reaches 10 years old and cannot read, it is your fault. Exactly when did you realize that your child cannot read? When it was time for the common entrance examination? When he had to repeat a form at secondary school? Did you discover that your child cannot read when he got to fifth form? Parents, the teacher is not responsible.
Dr. Bab adds that this year the Reading Clinic, which is observing its 7th anniversary, is catering to its largest cohort of students, with 130 boys registered for the 5-week exercise. She says this is an increase of some 62%.
Still, parents are lining up and begging us to enroll their children. Unfortunately, we had the difficult task of having to disappoint a significant number of prospective participants due to a lack of resources. These boys on the register are from 9 to 15 years old. One mother said, "Dr. Bab, please rescue my son. He is repeating first form." My heart broke, ladies and gentlemen. It really hurts.
The Sandy Lane Youth Charitable Trusts, Maria Holder Memorial Trust, and Scotiabank Barbados are sponsors of that initiative. 138,000 Barbadians have enrolled so far to pursue the various courses that are offered through the National Transformation Initiative, or NTI. Director Dr. Alison Leacock shared the information while noting that the NTI is celebrating 5 years of offering free, internationally recognized online courses to citizens. The NTI director was on CBC TV8's The People's Business with Minister of Training and Tertiary Education Sandra Husbands and Director of Learning and Development Unit in the Ministry of Training and Tertiary Education, Faye Marie Brown. They were discussing the topic training, upskilling to meet global challenges. Dr. Leacock noted that the courses are deliberately curated to align with government's agenda.
So we have the blue and green economy, we have a tourism academy, we have a media academy, we have agriculture and agribusiness, We have financial, legal, health and wellness, sport. I can go on. There are about 19. And of course, we have a 21st Century Educators Hub, which is specifically designed to help equip our teachers for a completely new learning and teaching environment. The challenge is not just about the kinds of subjects and the curriculum that we have to focus on for the future, but it is also really about recognizing that we have to learn a new way of teaching because we have a new student.
Now, during the program, it was also disclosed that a digital academy to train 18,000 public servants is set to open before year-end. The training is intended to enable the public sector employees to work effectively, utilizing continuously changing technologies and help Barbados reach and maintain its global competitiveness. The revelation from Ms. Brown.
We do have a digital competency framework that essentially sets out to help our public officers understand how to navigate digital workflows, how to use data responsibly, and how to embrace tech-enabled service delivery. That's the objective behind the framework, and ultimately the objective for us as a ministry is to be able to launch that digital academy for public officers by November later this year.
Ms. Brown says the digital academy training will no doubt lead to improved levels of service delivery from public officers. According to her, the overall benefits will be felt far beyond the public service.
But it's also the citizens who benefit, because increasingly we are offering services, government services, digitally. So we are not only reaching out to our public officers, but essentially they too are citizens who will benefit from this competency framework, this digital competency framework, and they will benefit from the digital academy.
The Barbados Junior Fire Cadet program is being described as one of the Barbados Fire Service's most impactful youth development efforts. That's how Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams sees the initiative. He shared the view as he opened the 2025 edition of the program at the Barbados Fire Academy, Arch Hall, St. Thomas. Our Anesta Henry has that report.
What began as a junior cadet program in 2000 has developed into something far greater. Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams says that the initiative is a nurturing ground for not only future firefighters, but also leaders and the citizens of excellence.
In 2029, the program welcomed the senior cadet stream, giving past cadets a chance to return as mentors and advanced trainers. Also in 2025, the appointment of Acting Station Officer Tony Scanterbury as the first official director of the program will mark a new era of leadership and strategic growth.
Minister Abrams told the 2025 Fire Cadets that they are not just participants of a summer program, but also builders of Barbados's future.
You are tomorrow's first responders, tomorrow's entrepreneurs, tomorrow's teachers, tomorrow's engineers, and yes, tomorrow's heroes. Some of you may never join the Barbados Fire Service, and that's okay. Because this program isn't just about firefighting, it's about becoming the best version of yourself.
Targeting secondary school students, the program exposes cadets to the fundamentals of firefighting, emergency response, and community service through hands-on training and classroom instruction. The cadets participate in activities such as foot and hose drills, first aid, fire safety, evacuation procedures, and public speaking. Fire Cadet Director, Station Officer Rosal Davis, says that the program began under the vision and the foresight of Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard.
This year holds special significance as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of this remarkable program, a milestone that reflects the unwavering commitment of the Barbados Fire Service to youth development and national service. In 2024, for the first time in history, the Fire Cadets marched in the National Independence Parade under the guidance of the first female coordinator, yours truly, Estrada Davis. My leadership was not just commendable, it was historic. This bold step forward reflects the evolving face of leadership within the fire service and the wider society.
This year's Fire Cadet program has been expanded to include emotional intelligence, leadership training, digital literacy, and spiritual grounding. Onesta Henry, CBC News.
Great initiative. Well, coming up, roadworks expected to breathe new life into the Fal Bay community. The recently completed Fal Bay Beach Road is expected to bring back life and activity to the rural area. As workmen from the Ministry of Environment and National Beautification apply the finishing touches, a call has been made for the area to be further enhanced. Trevor Thorpe has the story.
Officials at the Marco Polo restaurant say the repaved road will be the new beginning to the area, a position supported by 94-year-old George Dash. Knowing the beach was the place for sport, leisure and other social activities, he is calling for the development to continue. Mr. Dash would also like technology used to help enhance the surroundings.
I would like to see have a public bathroom just like there, but I know that they've got to be very careful because they've got a lot of people like helping themselves to things, you see. But they will find somewhere, even if they install cameras around the place. That's all they need, some cameras. And the cameras can be hidden places. And like in Britain, you will have a camera looking after each other.
The rebuilding work took 2 weeks, and resident Olivia Weeks is happy with the development. She says Fal Bay Beach was also high on the to-do list for visitors to the island and thinks it could return to its former glory.
It's still popular because we have lots of tourists passing throughout the day, and then you'll find some of the locals down here also eating lunch and stuff.
Resident Christopher Tull says the new road comes in time for the staging of the Gathering St. Philip activities.
We are very proud and happy that we finally have a road. For the past 15 years we've been looking for a road, and it finally came true, thanks to the Mayor administration.
The work is expected to be completed shortly. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Must go and visit. Government is making strides to increase its training and security capacity. This was disclosed by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Carrie Simmons. He says following an extended caucus of regional chief justices at the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, it has been determined that police officers need to be better trained. He says there has been this sharing of best practices, and one of the concerns is that too many people are having their files thrown out of court for a myriad of reasons.
We are at a stage where we recognize that there are some deficiencies in the way in which police cases, for example, are being prepared, and that there's a need for us to have a more harmonized approach to the way in which we are training our police, to the way in which we are strengthening our police forces, and to the way in which we are giving them the kind of technical tools to empower them to do the work that they must be able to do. Intelligence in these matters is very important, and they must be all equipped better in terms of intelligence.
Minister Simmons adds it has also been agreed that the Regional Police Training School will now become the hub for training across the region.
The quality of evidence and the preparation of case files, etc., has been a technical difficulty, and we have worked through some of the issues that have to be looked at, including better training. The Regional Training Center here in Barbados is now going to be used as a regional center of excellence as we collaborate more deeply with international agencies such as Interpol, and Interpol now has an office established here in Barbados so as to enable us to be able to dig more deeply into some of the weaknesses in our system and to correct those systemic weaknesses as a matter of first priority.
A St. Michael man has been remanded to Barbados Prison Service Dodds on a murder charge. He is 30-year-old Evan Raheem Andre Jordan of Barracks Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael. Jordan is accused of murdering Anderson Calderon on June 16th. He was not required to plead to the indictable offense when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Ian Weeks in the Criminal Court No. 1 in the District A Magistrates Court. Jordan will reappear in court on August 11th. Meanwhile, police are still on the hunt for escaped prisoner Cryan Walrus. Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Ryan Brathwaite is once again appealing to the public to contact them with relevant information.
We are also still seeking the assistance of the public in locating Cryan Darren Price Walrus, 24 years, alias Shifu, who escaped from Oistins Police Station on Friday the 4th of July 2025 about 8 p.m. Any person who may know the whereabouts of Cryan Darren Price Walrus is asked to contact the Criminal Investigations Department at the Oistins Police Station at telephone numbers 418-2608 or 418-2612. Police emergency at 211 or the Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-8477 or the nearest police station. Members of the public are reminded that it is a serious offense to harbor or assist wanted persons. Any person caught committing this offense can be prosecuted.
Residents of the closely knit Thorpe's Cottage St. George neighborhood are in mourning this evening after the sudden passing of a 72-year-old resident. He is Timothy Licorice. The former employee of C.O. Williams and Company collapsed and died after his morning walk in the area. He was pronounced dead on the scene by a medical doctor. His wife of 6 years, Maura Licorice, was too overcome with emotion to speak and pointed us to his brother Holbert Jackman. However, like his sister-in-law, Mr. Jackman was also too distraught to speak to us. Police are investigating. City traffic drew to a crawl this evening along Baxter's Road. This after a motorcycle rider was involved in an accident with a motor car. While the extent of his injuries are unknown at this time, CBC News was informed he was taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance. We will have more details as they come to hand. The Harsons Cave Eco-Adventure Park has added a new and exciting item to its list of attractions. Media practitioners and other stakeholders have been the first to experience the historic evening tram tour and dinner show. Our Anesta Henry has that story.
Dancers, drummers, Shaggy Bears and Mother Sally were in full form and provided the perfect entertainment for the inaugural historic evening tram tour and dinner show at Harsons Cave Eco-Adventure and Park. Asha Jones is the sales and marketing manager for Chukka Caribbean Adventures Barbados Limited.
Now, of course, doing a tram tour in the evening is nothing unique to Harsons Cave. However, tonight we have bundled it together with a wonderful Bajan buffet plus a beautiful performance by Pineland Creative Workshop. Of course, this special is available for locals and visitors.
There is also a special offer for customers.
So, part of our summer special, persons can look out for days where you can get half off of our zip line and challenge course or half off of our zip line by itself.
And the Chukka is continuously seeking to expose visitors to more Caribbean culture.
We also have our new Taste and Tales store, which this we will pan and show them, where persons get the opportunity to make Bajan, green banana and flying fish, bread pudding and rum sauce, and a local cocktail, Barbadian cocktail. So a lot happening here at Harsons Cave Eco-Adventure Park throughout the summer.
Ms. Jones says over the past few years, Chukka has worked on and invested in the evolution of the famous and the beautiful Harsons Cave tram tour. The additional attractions include the bird aviary, the green monkey zip line and the gully challenge course, just to name a few. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
An international hotel chain is looking to recruit Barbadians. It's 4 Points by Sheraton in association with local firm Trinity Recruitment Services, and 8 managerial positions are up for grabs. Interviews have started, and General Manager of 4 Points by Sheraton, the General Manager has outlined the thinking behind the move.
Trinity Recruitment Services did a fantastic job in selecting talent and preparing CVs for me, where I can get a good overview about the local talent pool and the people who work in the hospitality industry here in Barbados. So I'm very pleased with the people I met. I saw the talent, I saw the sparkle and the excitement in the selected talent to come to Guyana or to work with us in the hotel. So there's a lot of interest and a lot of excitement about the changes what we will see in Guyana, but also opened up doors for talent from Barbados or Guyanese who live here and want to return back to Guyana to be part of this change.
He tells the business report the skill sets of Barbadians in the hospitality industry are very high, and so far the recruitment is going well.
I knew that Barbados has a long service history when it comes to hospitality, so it's one of these beautiful islands in the Caribbean where European guests, Latin guests, American guests come for many, many years. So hospitality is, I guess, most probably the main industry on the island. So that means also that talent is there and that people are well trained and skilled, and this is what we are looking for, especially when it comes to key positions in the hotel. We need to attract and select the right talent to set up the hotel for success.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In, Pause is Power, and by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Well, Mark is back with the second half of sports.
Indeed, we're going to start with football, where Weymouth Wales have retained the BFA Champions Cup trophy. Playing last night at the BFA Technical Centre, Wales defeated Kickstart Rush in the final. CBC's Anmar Goodrich Boyce reports.
There was hardly any room in the inn at the BFA Technical Centre as the Champions Cup final featuring defending champs Weymouth Wales in the white and green versus Kickstart Rush attracted a massive crowd. All the formalities were in place with the teams walking out with the little ones, a moment they will remember for a long time. And then it was on to the action. Wales starting bright. Armando Sugar Lashley, clever bit of skill, and then delivers the cross too close to the keeper. But this was the first real chance. Wales thought they had the opener. Romario Harewood off the crossbar and behind for a corner. 15 minutes on the clock. Kickstart Rush coming forward down the flank. Wales on the back foot, but the finish is too tame to trouble Primus in goal. 0-0 at half-time. The score remained the same for the majority of the second half, and it appeared as if extra time was imminent before substitute Elijah Downey proved to be the game changer. Through ball to Raheem Neblet, who drills it far post, and that's the winner. Final score, Wales 1, Kickstart Rush 0. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
In netball, Guardian Group Pride of Villa are the champions of the BNA Premier League after clinching the title on a dramatic final night at Friendship recently with victory over UWI Blackbirds. Again, Anmar Goodrich Boyce reports.
The battle lines were drawn and it all came down to this. One final match to decide which team would take the 2025 BNA Premier League title. Former champions UWI Blackbirds in the black and yellow taking on Guardian Group Pride of Villa, and the stakes could not be higher. From the first whistle, Villa moving briskly around the court. Faye Agard is on shooting duty, and that did a lot to her confidence. UWI worked their way into the match, and the ever-present pair of Brianna Holder and Shonika Wharton had their work cut out. Wharton with her first goal. This was an encounter featuring the best players this country has to offer, and the quality displayed it all. This passage of play was quite impressive, and it wasn't done yet. Great athleticism from Agard to keep her balance and then deliver this. Astonishing. That's what the fans came to see. But the Blackbirds were not fazed. Brilliant pass from Holder to Wharton added to the score sheet. Agard too proving to be a nightmare early on for the UWI defense. Sabrina Smith to Agard. UWI will need to find a way to stop her. Villa were fully active, moving the ball around the court like a tornado. Impossible to predict and hard to stop. Guess who? Agard again. Villa leading 13-12 at the end of the first. Second quarter now, Smith and Latonia Blackman, the veterans, only by age, because this skill was top class, teaching Akina Stout a thing or two in the middle, and then Agard with the finishing touch. Wow, she scored a whopping 43 from 49 attempts. Brianna Holder was in the game as well for UE, and this was an easy goal. As always, no emotion showed, but that was important. UE, with their experience, continued to play well. Crony at the center of it all, and Holder again, another goal. Villa could not contain this wave of UE attack. Lovely give and go between Holder and Crony. Holder then out-muscling her marker. Bit of a smile, she enjoyed that one. Game well poised at 23-all. Third quarter stuff, and this was exquisite ball handling from Holder on her way to the pole. Unstoppable. She shot 11 from 18. UE up by 4, 31-28. But Villa came back in a game where the lead changed hands on several occasions, and this play was finished off by Blackman, not having the best of nights, but making this one count. 4 from 10, not the most impressive stats. UE were struggling to cope with the imposing Agard, who helped Villa to regain the lead, 35-33 now. Final quarter now, the team talk crucial, and the drama was about to unfold. 3 minutes left on the clock, the score level at 40-all. Tension in the air, and Agard converts. UE unable to regain their composure, and Agard again sinks this one as it ended. Villa 47, UE 45. Villa crowned champions of the BNA Premier League for 2025. And more Goodrich Boys, CBC Sports.
That's news. Thank you so much for spending the night with us. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.